All right, thank you, Bill. And of course, another big concern has been a lot of the bridges crossing over the river. One of the bridges that had to be shut down was the Fulton Street Bridge. I want to bring in 24-hour News 8's Danny Carlson. And obviously, a lot of people want to come see this river and can't because the Fulton Street Bridge is shut down.
Right, and that's for a very specific reason. There are several electrical cables that run underneath the Fulton Street Bridge that actually power much of downtown Grand Rapids, and we can actually show you the problem. If you look in there, you can see that's debris, but the debris that we're talking about here are actually full trees, and part of the reason why this bridge is shut down because consumers wanted to make sure that those cables are not hit by those trees, and then there could be a really big problem. Now, usually 4 cables run underneath the Fulton Street Bridge. Each of them carry 46,000 volts of electricity at one time. The water level so high at this point, you see that debris. Officials are worried about something hitting one or more of those cables that run underneath the bridge, and not only possibly knocking out power to big portions of downtown, but potentially even electrifying that bridge. Now, the big problem is consumers had to figure out a way that they were able to still keep power in downtown and be able to de-electrify, is what they're calling it, the cables downtown here. Now, all 4 cables were supposed to be de-electrified by 3 o'clock this afternoon. We were told just a couple minutes ago, I was on the phone with one of the consumers' representatives. He says that new time was supposed to be 6 o'clock, so just within the past few minutes, all of those cables are supposed to be de-electrified. And actually, the situation was so potentially dangerous that the city and consumers had emergency crews who were moving that debris actually stop working until all the cables could be turned off.
It's rather unusual, but the emergency crews, and we work with police and fire all the time across the state, they realize the danger that is in our system. It's just an added danger with the amount of water that we have. It is rather unusual, but I think we're living in some pretty unique circumstances right now in Grand Rapids.
Now, as far as we know, the lights have not flickered so far in downtown Grand Rapids, so consumers seems to be doing that job pretty well. And also, Leon, as we're in the middle of this crisis situation, we're asking about things moving forward into the future. I asked consumers, since this has happened, are they going to think about possibly rerouting some of those cables so not all of the electricity of downtown is under just one bridge? And they said that's definitely something that they're going to be looking at moving forward once we're out of this crisis. Now, as you mentioned, the bridges, big concern today in downtown Grand Rapids. The CSX, that railroad bridge, that's another one that city officials are really looking at today, and we'll have more about that coming up in about the next half hour.
All right, Danny, thank you. Of course, it's a big concern. A lot of people travel through here on their way to work. Of course, that starts again tomorrow. Danny, thank you very much.